Okay, let's go ahead and start with the first coat and preserve your design. Wow, that's really going to bring a wall to life.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need.
Good morning and welcome to KL Acrylic Painting Designs. This is a new channel. I've actually ran one YouTube channel before, a fishing channel, and now I'm going to do painting. So we're talking acrylic painting on canvases. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get the first canvas that I'm going to be doing on the show. Okay, this is a 16 by 20. And what we're going to do is, I mostly have some leftover paints from previous painting. So I'm going to be using those just to get rid of them. But I will mix one paint that I need, some red, to give you an idea of what I'm using to mix the paints with. It's not just the acrylic paint, you add some stuff to it. Okay, and as I mentioned, since the paints are already done, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the previous paintings I did. I think there's about 12 there, so go ahead and take a look at those real quick. Now that you've seen those, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this one here. So on the channel, mostly I'm going to go ahead and prepare some red, and this is apple barrel acrylic paints. The first thing I'm going to do is add my paint. But on this channel, yeah, we're going to be go ahead and sometime showing the setup, definitely the painting process all the way to the end. So you're going to get to see the final results. It'll be wet. I don't know if I'll get back to a video and show the dry on it. Okay, so the cup itself weighs 6 grams. We are going to add 10 grams, and you want to add 1 part paint and 2 parts medium. And what a medium does is it helps bind the paint together. Let me make sure I get this right here. Helps bind the paint and everything else that you put together so it stays together. And medium's kind of like a glue. Think of like a Elmer's glue. In this case, we will be using Floetrol by Flood. And Floetrol for latex. There's different types of Floetrol. And since we put in 10 grams of paint, we're going to put in 20 more of Floetrol. And it doesn't really have to be precise. Okay, so now that we have the red paint and the Floetrol in there, we still have some more things to add. The first thing you want to do is you want to mix it up really well. For the paintings to work out, consistency in your paint is paramount. You don't want your paints too thin, you don't want them too thick, and preferably you want them all the same consistency with each other. So that's stirred. Again, stir between each step. From there, you're going to add alcohol, and you just want to add a couple drops of it. But you're going to put a couple drops per 10 to 15 grams of paint. Remember, 10 grams of paint also is 20 of Floetrol, so that'll end up being 30 grams, but still a few drops. If you're going to double that, maybe add a couple more drops. Okay, that's stirred up. Next thing you're going to do is add water. And maybe if you're doing 10 grams, you might want to add about 3 or 4 grams of water, maybe 5. The idea is you want the consistency to where once you stir it, you want to get it on whatever you're dipping it with, in this case a spoon, and you want the paint to drop off. When the paint hits the rest of the paint on the bottom, you want it to just sit on the top for briefly a moment and then sink nearly immediately. If the second drop hits and the first hasn't sank, it's too thick. And if it doesn't stay on the top at all, it just goes right through, you might be a little bit too runny. But you want that consistency. And if you get that in all the paints, your painting should come out good. Okay, so for what I have in mind today, which is going to be a really simple design, we're going to go ahead and take 2 to 3 cups, empty cups, and fill them with these colors here. And pretty much any pattern or design I guess I want to do. But I'm tilting it at a little bit of an angle and letting the paint hit the side so it slides down on top of each other when you layer them, because that's what we're going to be doing, layering them. And then let's say, how about some yellow to liven that up? And now we'll finally mix the red and blue together. Okay, we're about ready to start painting. We got cup number 1, cup number 2, and these are, I think, 9-ounce cups, so, and cup number 3. Okay, so in this one, like I said, this is going to be a really simple one. There's many different techniques you can use for this, and we'll cover more paintings in the future for sure. We'll have another one coming up just in a few days or less. Here we go. A little nervous. Just letting it pour. Now, sometimes it's a good idea to put a base coat of paint on the canvas first. That way it scrolls across the canvas a lot easier, or it should not scrolls, it moves and flows across the canvas much easier. I'm going to add some in the corner because that's going to help the paint when it gets to the edges to flow over the corners. And it's okay if it looks messy. 1, it might make the painting look interesting and unique, and 2, chances are the other paint's going to roll right over it. And you can use even black or white or maybe even a color not in here, and it might still be okay. I'll put that cup upside down and let it drip out the paint. Then we'll start on our second cup. Let's start with this little cup first. I'm a little worried about this not being enough paint. Let's see. I'll see if I can pour it towards you guys. Okay, and our last cup. Let this be a pretty one, right? Let's start at the bottom on this one. Here, I'll try to pour towards you guys. Get this along the edges. Now when this paint starts to flow, this design is going to get stuck on blank canvas. But when you coat it, it allows it to push the paint that's here out first off to the edges of the canvas, thus preserving most of your design. And truthfully, I should probably add little bits more paint to this to give it more flow. I'll probably pour some black or something on the sides. But this is the design, and then we're going to maneuver the board and tilt it. That's what we're going to tilt it. And it's going to spread it out. And of course, we want it to overlap on the edges. And this rotating and tilting it will be the final step of the painting, most likely. You could do things like put your fingers through it or a fork through it for added design. Probably, I like to end up getting most of the edges coated. Sometimes it seems like it can never be enough, and in this case, there's not enough. Okay, you know what? Let me make a little bit more black real quick. And we could actually use, no, we're out of almost everything. Yeah, let me mix a color real quick here. Okay, well, with this white, that should give us enough to finish off the border here. And we can start stretching this canvas out. I don't know, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Take a look at the colors here and see. You guys can tell before I can what it looks like it's going to look like, you know, represent. I'm almost thinking tribal or something colors. I don't know. Definitely looking forward to it though. And now the fun part. Here's where we tilt it and see what we get. Okay, let's get to this. Okay, I should be where I've got an apron for this. Let's see what we can do here. Now, as you'll see, hopefully it picks up on the other color, and the other color gets us to the edge first. I'm trying to cover the remaining parts of the canvas. And usually before you switch directions, it's a good idea to get it going in a direction, come back and center your point, center all the paint in the center again, and you can tell what's the most paint on the painting because it moves the easiest. So get that pile back in the center, and that should center your painting. I'm not super great at that, but... And then bring it to your new position. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, I don't want it to go off quite yet, because once it goes off, you start losing your design. There's the massive paint at. Okay. There it goes, getting to the center. Now we want to go down this corner. We kind of got the mass to the center there. A little bit more. Okay. Let's go easy on the design here. And I got to come towards me. Sorry, guys. I should have had the camera going behind me. We are losing part of the design there. I didn't want to lose, though. A little bit more. Okay. Bring it back. Hopefully we can salvage some of this design here, people. But you know what? It's looking pretty interesting. Okay, now I want to go towards this corner over here. And this edge. Well, heck, we're already headed towards that corner anyways. Let's put a little bit more paint on there, though. On that corner. See if we can scavenge any color here. Any color. Again, this color should get pushed off, so it really won't be destroying the painting any. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this corner here though. Get it up. Tilt towards that corner. Ever gently. You can increase the angle as you need it. Wow, it almost has a cool effect there though, doesn't it? You know what? Adds a little unique feature to it. I think we'll leave that. If I can get back on my stands correctly here, and I think we are done, folks. That's simple. Now what you do is take some of the drip that came off from the painting elsewhere. I got to be careful, try not to get old colors on my hand, and then lightly touch it on. If you've got enough on there, it should pull it down. And also go over the sides and make sure any parts that didn't get hit, get paint on them. Again, just pick up some from the platform you're using, dip it right on there. And you know, it kind of adds those that think about it, kind of adds a personal touch too. You know, they got your finger right there in the painting. And that's something kind of special. So anyways, I'm going to go through and touch up all these corners. And I'll give you a better view in a moment here. But that's it. Whoa, that's wild. Okay, so that's what we come up with. As you can see in the pouring process there, the original design did get distorted, but you can also see that if I had another cup of the same mixture and poured it through the rest of the canvas, or used a lot more black or base coat on the edges, or perhaps base coated the whole painting first, you would have maintained a lot more of that design. But there you go. So let us know what you can see in that image. What do you think it represents? So I'd like to thank you for joining me today. By the way, my name is Ken with KL Abstract Painting Designs. And yeah, we're going to have hopefully a new video up every few to several days. And we'll be using different techniques as well. This won't be the only technique, so I can show you how to get other effects and stuff. But it's a controlled chaos, really. And the results sometimes are absolutely beautiful. Thank you for joining us. And if you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button for upcoming videos.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all alone.
Okay, let's go ahead and start with the first coat. And preserve your design. Wow. That's really going to bring a wall